I'm not. No.
Dragon Balls.
I see.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I forget the words, but I love you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Yes.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen across the world. You are here with the one and only Sooper Friends Podcast, starring your amazing host, Super VEGA, CHET,
I have feelings.
and the Incredible Hulk, the Killer Croc, the Green Lantern of our show, El Sumo.
How many times do I have to tell you, Chat? It's on a chip in storage.
My emotions.
So, you have any idea what those three things have in common today?
What do those things have in common? We must find
There's
out.
a lot. I mean, you got superhero stuff.
Are they all green?
No.
They're not all green.
It's kind of green.
Kind of.
Dark green.
You can get the green,
Kinda
and you
like
get
pale.
like
It's kinda
the
like
pale green.
It's
Vomit
kinda like
green,
the,
possibly.
You get lots of
the
CGI.
vomit pea
You get
green.
lots of
Vomit
death.
pea green.
Lots of death. Lots of death. Superpowers.
I kind of changed his perspective then. I was going to go with they are all characters that I believed initially should have been CGI'd and had varying outcomes. For example, the Incredible Hulk had an amazing CGI. His CGI was fantastic.
The
At
second
least
and third Hulk.
The second and
Yes.
third one.
The second
Correct,
and third
correct.
Hulk.
Eric Bana not so much. Norton and
correct.
Ruffalo. Good
Neon
job.
green.
Norton and
radioactive.
Ruffalo worked well.
I'm
and
always
then,
angry.
And then we have Killer Croc, who is in the upcoming Suicide Squad, who looks like he's not going to get much CGI at all. So that's
like
going to
it.
be interesting.
I like it.
I don't know. I always thought, big Killer Croc.
Depends on the Killer Croc, man.
But I guess they're going with baby Killer Croc, which is perfectly fine. Area to each their own. And then there's Green Lantern, who's like the god-awful, this is what you should not do with a green screen example.
Yes. It's hard to do. It's hard to do that because like you have to CGI like 99% of that movie anyway. You have to CGI like 99% of that movie anyway.
True. So they could have done a better job.
But they should have physically given him the costume, not the CGI crap that.
Which is even weirder.
Turn him into a cartoon.
CGI is like costume.
His mask and everything. Like
they didn't have a wardrobe designer who could just
They want to make it glow or something? I don't know. The whole
You can
movie.
make it glow.
Well, Adventure was flying around in space because his suit was CGI and he was flying around so CGI. It's like they could have just done the same thing by copy-pasting his head and just having it float around through some backgrounds. Look, it's the Green Lantern!
Oh god. Have you ever seen the cutscenes to like Diablo or the Halo Legends series? Give me a 3G CGI Green Lantern movie in that type of style versus what we got in live action.
what we
I'll
got,
take that.
what we were given. Speaking of awesome live action movies that are going to be coming out, Attack on Titan.
It's
a
gonna
live
be bad.
trailer.
It's gonna be bad.
Have you seen the live
I
trailer?
have. It's gonna be bad.
Oh,
It's going to be as bad as the show. Come at me!
Whoa. Well, okay. Look, the show wasn't as good.
Come at me.
I'm a manga reader. I've been reading the manga.
I do too.
So compared to the manga, the show did a terrible job. It was awesome to watch, though. The fight scenes and the art was awesome.
I will concede to that, baby.
And the
manga's
intro
good.
song. And the intro song.
I don't know why
It was
I
fucking
found
epic.
it so funny when Chet said, "Come at me."
Come at me. Because of the fandoms. The fandoms are going to go hard.
You guys could have seen his face when he said it. It was just, "Come at me."
He was ready for war. That was a war face.
I want a
That was a
t-shirt.
war face.
I want a t-shirt with Chet saying "Come at me" on it.
Come at me.
Just that face.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man.
Kaijus are better than Titans. What?
Alongside that awesome news, we've also got the Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman trailer that I just saw because you guys forced me to watch it.
You love us for it, though.
We were not
with a
letting him
knife
start
to my
this.
neck.
We were not letting him start this without watching it first.
It was terrifying to watch. So personally, I'm a big believer that there is no way possible that Batman will ever beat Superman.
Green Kryptonite.
In
it's
actual
not-
logic,
it's not.
he won't.
It's not
It's-
possible.
If you actually think about it. But if
Yeah,
you think
go
of, if
ahead.
you compare this goody two shoes Boy Scout super. So the Superman in the Man of Steel in this movie, I'm sorry, Batman won't beat. He's conflicted. He's actually killed someone. He actually killed Zod. Like, I think Superman, if you thought about it, would kill him. The Superman who's the symbol of hope that we know from the comics and the cartoon series. Stop breaking your neck on me, man. Jesus. That Superman would not, because he knows how to control himself and he won't hurt his best friend.
Except he totally killed Zod at the end of Man of Steel.
No, but that's a different Superman.
The Man of Steel Superman.
Yeah, because he's conflicted.
Is out of his mind.
Okay.
Because he's young, so he's still learning how to be that character that we know from like the animated series and the late comics, who's already an adult, like who's been Superman for a while.
Yeah.
Who's in a who's probably like 30s or 40s.
Yeah, because the Superman we're getting right out of Man of Steel is like just graduating college.
Exactly.
So,
like the Superman is super young.
Only thing he knows about life is that he can't get drunk no matter how hard he tries.
Exactly. Neither can the Flash. Well, yeah, he can get drunk. If you have like 4,000% distilled shot of alcohol, it gets drunk for about 7 seconds.
There's a chance he'll die before he gets drunk.
No, they actually did it in one of the episodes of The Flash.
Yeah.
Gave him a shot. He was drunk for like 7 seconds.
Oh,
and then he burned it all out.
All you need to do is throw in some green kryptonite, and then boom, he can fight.
But Superman does not even have to get near you.
Yeah, but he
can grab a boulder and crush you. He can throw the Batmobile into space.
But if he's been exposed to the kryptonite, it's
how
take a
long?
week for a while.
But he can't.
But think about this part of it, right? So by the time Batman can get close enough with green kryptonite, Superman would have already seen him coming.
Heard him coming.
Here's what happens.
By the time
I guarantee this is what's happening in the movie. Lex Luthor probably already exposed him to the kryptonite.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. And Batman, he's gonna have some on him to keep the fight fair. So like his gloves are gonna be made out of it or something. His suit, or maybe his suit like generates the radiation. Who knows?
Yeah, like that's probably how it is.
I'm saying
like,
it's going to be a fair fight.
Oh yeah,
absolutely
of course.
be.
But it's only because they're writing him a fair fight.
It's only because
you can't not write a fair fight for Superman.
Like, I'm sorry,
Superman will win unless you find a way to make it fair.
You know what I want?
That's the argument I've always had. You have to write Batman a fair fight to be
You have
Superman.
to make Batman not
You don't have
human.
to write Superman a fair fight.
No,
you can just
Batman,
say Superman walked into a room, was surrounded by guys, and Superman walked right back out after whooping ass.
Batman is the one character. He's the one superhero who gets the most leeway ever.
Yeah.
Out of every, like, he beats Captain America. He beats Superman.
I recently read The Court of Owls. Okay, and in The Court of Owls, like, I was more pissed off than anything else. Like, the only time that I don't like Batman is when he's compared to Superman. Any other time, I'm like, yo, Batman's a badass superhero. But in this particular comic book, I felt like, as a reader, I was cheated. Because the Talon whooped Batman's ass. The dude was on, like, he was dead. There was no coming back from this fight. And then all of a sudden, Batman was like, wait a minute, I've got to win and live to fight another day. And he's just pounding Talon out of nowhere. Like, completely out of nowhere.
The power of feelings Deus Ex Machina.
I was like, what in the fuck kind of bullshit ass win was that?
And look, Superman isn't even my favorite. Green Arrow is my favorite hero.
Green Arrow is the man.
Green Arrow is my favorite.
And Green Arrow is the reason that Batman has beaten Superman in the comic book in the past. Because Green Arrow is the fucking shit.
Yeah.
So let that be said.
Okay, so how strictly in terms of the new movie universe that Warner Brothers is doing, how do we think this is gonna play out?
Oh, it's gonna play out with probably Batman beating him, and they're gonna say it's because of he's an older Batman in this one, as opposed to usually they're the same age and grow up together. He's an older Batman, and he's gonna be like, you lost because of experience, and he's gonna beat him, and then he's gonna become a mentor, and then they're gonna come together to be whatever creation that Zod's DNA will do, because I don't know if you guys, in the trailer, you see Zod's dead body. And there's a running theory going around where they take Zod's DNA and Lex creates Doomsday for the Justice League movie coming up as the main villain.
You know what I hope they do instead?
What?
Turn him into Bizarro. Because if you can do Bizarro right, even though he's kind of a comedy character.
I don't know how you would turn Zod into Bizarro, though. Bizarro's a different dimension. right?
Or another planet, depends on what you're...
Yeah, depends on
I've
what
I've always read him and seen him as Dimension.
Here's my
Just
theory.
Doomsday would be too easy. That's why I want Bizarro.
But it would work because he's like he's at least known as a villain more.
Yeah, exactly.
As a main like heavy villain for like the Justice League.
Yeah.
He's a villain. Bizarro's a Superman villain. Doomsday is a Justice League villain.
Here's my thought on what they're gonna do, right? So I think they're going to have a long, like it's gonna be like a 30-minute fight scene. It's gonna be the longest fight scene we've ever seen. All right, and then at the end of it, like Batman is gonna pull all the stops, like every tech he has, everything. Because remember, Superman at this point of Superman in the movie universe, at this point in his life, he is almost like he is unstoppable because he has the psyche of a teenager. The
Pretty
rebellious psyche. So there's nothing that's going to tell him to stop doing what he's doing. He's just going to keep going. So he's going to pound on Batman in every way, shape, or form. Okay?
He fucked up the Batmobile.
Yeah, he's just going to devastate everything Batman throws at him. Right? And then it's going to come to a point where they're going to be, I want to say they're going to be toe-to-toe. Right? That's it. We're down to just bare knuckles at this point, and Batman and Superman can completely obliterate Batman. They're gonna pull some kryptonite shit, okay? And Superman's gonna fall to his knee, and then Batman's gonna be like, blah 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 blah. I could have won, and then Superman's gonna say some cheesy line about how he just wants to protect his planet, and Batman's gonna go, wait, what? That's what I want to do. What the fuck are we fighting for?
So you mean like pull like a Dark Knight Returns movie where it goes like, I want you to remember this. I could have killed you, but I want you to remember that of the face of the man who beat you. Is that what he's gonna do?
I think they're gonna go that direction, but they're not gonna throw in the "I actually beat you" part.
Okay.
Because even though it's generally accepted amongst the comic book community for Batman to be able to beat Superman and not the other way around, I don't think that they're going to draw that line so heavily, but I think they're going to give it the type of closure where it's going to look like, it's going to feel like Batman kind of had the upper hand.
So it's like Batman's win by decision?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Batman's got the upper hand at the end of this, but right before he considers dealing the final blow, Superman says something that makes Batman go, fuck.
We're on the same side. Alright.
What do you think?
I fucked that up. Whoops.
I hope Wonder Woman gets thrown into that scuffle at some
We don't
point.
know, but what do you think is the reason they fought, though? Because I really cannot say how the outcome of the fight's going to go, but like just going with this trailer, what do you think is going to be the reason they fight?
So
you go ahead first.
Okay, so you see in the trailer, Bruce Wayne, right? Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne. He's running towards the smoke and the dust and everything, right?
Yeah.
So and then he sees the kid. I don't know if that's Bruce's child or what.
No,
he's going to just save lives, right? I think he sees General Zod and Superman fighting as two super villains, as opposed to Superman being the misunderstood hero, which is kind of what they're doing in this movie, and fighting to stop Zod, but not having the maturity of the Superman we know to kind of bring destruction down to a minimum.
Right.
So Batman's going to be like, he's a threat. He says it in the trailer. He has the power to destroy everything.
Exactly.
We have to stop him.
Yep. I gotta say, that plot point, I think it was unintentional, because I think they made I think when they made Man of Steel, I think it was sort of accidental. Because they made this movie, and it was a really cool fight scene. Probably one of the best live-action Dragon Ball fights I've ever seen.
Yeah,
was not Dragon Ball.
The Dragon Ball one sucked.
So much of that collateral damage.
That must not be spoken.
So much of that collateral damage and everything. So many people on the internet talking about us going, man, this Superman is really irresponsible.
It's so immature Superman.
And I think, WB really took that to heart, and they're like, man, that's right. Let's use that as the plot point. He's an irresponsible Superman.
He's immature, of course. He's
so
new.
I think that's what you're saying.
I think what happened was that they gave Zack Snyder a little bit too much creative freedom. I love Zack Snyder. I think he does a great job, but I think somebody gave him a little bit too much freedom. And he did all that stuff, and they were like, God damn. And he was like, wait, I can fix this. Batman versus Superman. Batman's mad because he ruined the city.
And because all the lives that lost. I think too, only the facts here on Super Friends. But Zod did most of the destruction anyway.
Right.
In that fight. So that's the thing where it's like, I think it's going to be that, and I'm leaning more towards your thing where like, oh, we're on the same side at the end of the fight, as opposed to, I hope, okay, so we got a glimpse of Wonder Woman, and I think she's going to be part of that stop. She like halts the fight for a split second to give Batman and Superman that moment to dialogue. I think that's how they're going to incorporate her, because if not, she's going to be like a just a thrown in character, and I hope they don't do that, because I hope they use this to introduce her to the DC like universe right now for the Justice League movie, because she's not gonna get her own movie.
I hope they do it.
Yeah, she is.
The trailer so far is like, God,
it's been pushed back and canceled and changed actresses and it's crazy.
I guess, but I really hope that, well, most of these colossal fights are usually generated on a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
But I do hope it's a really good reason for them to start fighting and fight for so long before they can finally talk it out. There's got to be something, and I just really want to figure out the core of what made them start fighting. Because, you know, you can extrapolate a few things from the trailer. I guess when Batman does his big return, I don't know what it is.
Training montage and everything.
Training montage. He's going to do something, and Superman as Clark Kent. You know, we have Lawrence Fishburne's character saying to him, "No one cares about Clark Kent versus the Batman."
Everyone cares
like,
about
so I want to know what they're leaving out here. What is it?
You know,
that's inspired Batman to be Batman, and what's eventually going to inspire Superman to stop Batman?
I think also before you start,
I'll let you go, because
I think also another thing towards Batman's and Bruce Wayne's kind of mentality of like this kind of hard Batman is, if you see the Robin costume, the spray paint, the Joker spray paint, and stab wounds. And I'm thinking it's Jason's. It's Jason Todd's, that Robin, because we know the Joker killed him. So I think that's another way of like Batman kind of like, instead of sitting, waiting, and being the normal kind of vigilante / law-abiding hero, he's more like, okay, no, I'm gonna punch first, ask questions later.
But that's still what Batman usually does.
No, but he usually knows. You know, this time it's more like he's just gonna hop in.
So maybe he
has some resentment of not being able to save him. I think that's also going to play a role.
So here's my secondary theory, right, that you just reminded me of. So, and this will kind of lead into us talking a little bit about Suicide Squad. But here's my secondary theory, right? So the whole Man of Steel event happens, all that stuff goes crazy, buildings come down, all sorts of stuff, like just the whole world's in a shit show, right? There's no better time for crime to repopulate than when there's already chaos. So in the midst of all this chaos and stuff, like, crime starts popping up again. We start getting Joker impersonators, or even the Joker himself, because he doesn't technically exist in this universe
the Joker
yet.
gang.
So you get all these criminals, you get all these guys just showing up out of nowhere. So Batman's like, damn, I gotta don the mantle again because there's nobody to protect the city, because people like Robin are dead and so on. You know, we might get a wheelchair Oracle. Who knows in the next Batman movie? But if we base it around the concept that, like, think about it, Suicide Squad right now is a standalone movie. Why? Like, there's no genuine reason for it to just be a standalone movie.
So you would think Amanda Waller as the head, and she's the president this time, isn't she?
Right, exactly.
Right? So as her, she's kind of like, this whole chaos. It's like fight fire with fire.
Exactly.
We need that to keep him in check, and people like him in check, and also those villains like the Suicide Squad of that same caliber in check.
Perhaps.
So at some point in the Suicide Squad movie, right? Spoilers. In the Suicide Squad movie, Joker and Harley will get away from the Suicide Squad. They disappear.
That's a good one.
So now Joker and Harley are back in the scene for Batman to have to deal with them being a pain in the ass again.
Get his Batman
Crimes
movie.
are already back up, nonstop, blah blah blah. And in the midst of this, right? Probably before, I don't know the release dates for these two movies, so I'm just throwing shit around. But in the midst of this, Clark Kent, the news reporter, is tasked with reporting on the vigilantism of the Batman. And that pisses him off because he's like, what the fuck? This guy's going around messing up my home. And Batman's thinking the same thing. and we get back to the power
But
struggle
they're
where they're
both
like,
going to be different cities, though. The Suicide Squad is going to be Gotham City.
right.
Batman versus
It's
Superman is going to be
Metropolis.
Metropolis.
But they also hinted
They're
at some
supposed to be
Gotham
very
City there
close
because
to each
remember,
other.
because there's no bat symbol in Metropolis, and in the Batman versus Superman trailer, he's at the sign.
That's true.
There's
So it probably
so
is
much
Gotham.
you can extrapolate.
And
Yeah.
plus, Metropolis, and Gotham can easily both be representations of New York City.
Yeah.
It's very true. It's very
Well,
true.
So
It's always been inferred that Metropolis is supposed to be more of a, I forgot actually, a Chicago-like place.
I would think
whereas
Gotham is more
New
Chicago.
York, whereas
Well,
New
Gotham was
York
always like
and
New York.
Pittsburgh is supposed to be Gotham's.
Yeah. So so there's another theory, which brings us to, like I said, the Suicide Squad, and
Well, before you go there, I
My
just want to
God.
say one thing. I think maybe the timeline is different for how I think things are going to play out. I think that after Man of Steel, there will be a low amount of chaos. I think it's going to be the aftermath of the Superman-Batman fight, of, practically destroying each other. That's going to give rise to the chaos in
the crime.
Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
so
think.
Suicide Squad is scheduled for after,
Suicide Squad is after Batman v Superman.
which also makes sense too. So
Yeah.
so there could be more chaos rises from.
So I
them,
think there's gonna be
from-
more chaos
you
after
watch
their
you watch
fights.
mom and dad fight, and you tend to go on and fuck shit up.
Stop fighting!
I learned it watching you.
Oh God! The cycle! The cycle!
But Suicide Squad. Oh,
Can we just start with?
Who learned
I'm
it
more-
watching you?
I learned it from watching you.
I'm more excited for Suicide Squad than Batman v Superman.
I'm equally excited.
I watched it and I did have roughly 47 more feels than I did touching Batman. I counted them. I did the tallies. Like, I experienced 47 more feels than
He
last time.
created an algorithm that printed out a sheet on an old dot matrix machine. Just like
And yeah, everyone was really apprehensive about Jared Leto's Joker.
oh, so was I.
And I watched it, and I gotta say, I was excited. I was pretty excited for the Joker.
I'm willing to give him
What do you
more of
think?
a shot now.
I'm not sold on the Joker yet, because I don't know which direction he's gonna go. Because the trailer only gives you like a 15-20 second snippet.
But I like it though.
He doesn't do anything that makes me go, oh, this is gonna be kind of interesting. It looks like he's being crazy for the sake of being crazy, and not someone who's genuinely clinically insane. Like Heath Ledger's Joker was good in my opinion because he genuinely felt like he was fucking nuts, like he was out of his mind. Like everything, like every moment that I saw him on camera, I was like, this guy's fucking crazy. Like, I don't want to run into this guy on the subway. Like, he's out of his fucking mind. But with Jared Leto's Joker, you look at him and you kind of go, he got grills.
That's
He can't be that crazy. He may be stupid.
No.
But he can't be that
You
crazy.
gotta be crazy to get grills and some shit tattooed on your fucking forehead. So,
Yeah. Explain
So-
that to 90% of the rappers that I don't like. Go ahead. Give the.
Look,
I
for
will
me,
put you
for
through
me,
to them directly. and you explain what I've
his
been trying to explain to them.
His inflections and the fact that he didn't try to do the voice and the laugh, like try to like do an imitation. He spun it to match his style, and the fact that like the line he said is classic Joker. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you, really bad. Like that inflection and everything, like that's perfect.
I think that line was a good way to cement his character.
To kind of introduce him.
That line, that he delivers, that one line to close out the whole trailer. I really enjoyed it, and what I like is you can kind of compare it as a sort of milestone for the character. You look at Heath Ledger's Joker, and what's that first thing
Very
you
played
remember?
down.
What's the first thing you remember from the Joker, Heath Ledger?
I got these scars.
No, he said something before that,
Why
remember?
so serious?
Well, not in that, right? Want to see a magic trick?
Oh God.
Oh yeah, but that's not the thing that I cement them to.
No.
That's one of the moments. But that's one of the
But
moments that makes me
that's
go.
one of the moments.
This guy's fucking batshit crazy.
This is
Like-
the first moment you get is the want to see a magic trick? I'm gonna make the pencil disappear.
No. The first
The first is
moment
the
I
bank
really-
heist.
No,
Yeah,
it's
the
not the
bank
first
heist
line. I understand. It's the
No,
first
not
thing that
the
really.
no. See, for me, if you were to ask me what's the first the first line that sticks in my mind is obviously Why So Serious.
Oh, yeah.
But like the first moment that hit me that this Joker, that what I was about to watch was nuts, was the bank heist. Like they did an excellent job making that character important from the beginning. Because in the bank heist, like you're watching these guys rob everything, and you're like, "Oh, this is pretty cool," blah blah blah. And then
they start killing each other off.
And then the last one is like, "Huh, I didn't get a note to kill anybody." And then he reveals himself as the Joker, and he's like, "Oh, that's right, I didn't give myself a note." And you're like, "What the fuck do you mean you forgot to give yourself a note to kill yourself? What the hell's wrong with you?"
I like the Joker. I like Heath Ledger's Joker. People, personally, look, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but if he hadn't have died, he would not have been as loved as he is now.
Right, the hype train would have been a lot. Would have not been as crazy.
It's still a great Joker.
He did an incredible job.
It's
but the
not
hype
my preferred Joker. My preferred Joker is that Jared Leto Joker, who is literally just over the top, rambunctious, insane, psychotic, twisted, hilarious Joker. Because like, if you look at the Joker, he's a clown.
He's an evil
literally
clown.
a clown.
Yeah.
Right? The Heath Ledger, he was the Dark Knight, he was kind of brooding, silent. He had his moments where he was like the rambunctious Joker we love, or I love anyway, but it was more of like the same with the Batman. It was kind of deeper and more philosophical and insane that way.
Yeah.
And how Batman, I hate the fucking Batman voice. Just for starters. I'm Batman.
Well, I mean,
it sounds like a dick is in his throat and he's gargling shit. Like, just no. But like, I like what this Joker is insinuating in that 15-second clip of the trailer.
See, I didn't get anything that made me feel like, oh yeah, this is gonna be an interesting guy to watch. Like for me, watching him at the end of the trailer was like, oh, okay, so that's what he's gonna look like. That's how I felt watching it.
We knew what it was gonna look like.
It was but it was like that was the first official confirmation where, like, at least in my head, where I'm like, all right, this is on camera. There's no way that they're gonna show this at Comic-Con and any part of it is not gonna be actual costume. So this is what he's gonna look like. But maybe my expectations were a lot higher. Maybe I expected him to do something more interesting. Maybe I expect him to do less. I don't know.
I think they just teased us
exactly.
kind of start the floodgates open.
It was a teaser, but it wasn't a teaser that made me really feel anything differently about the character. Like, I'm still reserved about it.
It's the mystery box style of filmmaking brought on by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I mean,
you don't know what you're gonna get,
but he codified that whole people want to be surprised thing. So they're trying to keep it. They're still always trying to hold back a surprise because they want to give you a surprise every time they have something new. So our first surprise was some Joker. Our next surprise might be something else. How about the rest of the trailer, though? I mean, we have poured over the last 15 seconds. How about the rest of Suicide Squad?
It was cool to see Deadshot in action.
Great.
Yep.
It's great to see Will Smith back on that horse, man. Because
I like Will Smith as Deadshot. I like it.
Like he's had some shaky options over the past couple of years, but with the new movie Focus that he was just in, that was great.
That was.
Deadshot looks like he's gonna do a great job with that character. Margaret Robbie gives me a hard on all the time. So,
oh God, those Harley Quinn just
like it's not even the type of thing where like I want them to make her character that way, because I don't. I want it to be a character where I want her character to be less sexualized. Doesn't mean she's not attractive, but I don't want them to over sexualize Harley, or like I just don't feel they should over sexualize any of the comic book females. But that's just me personally.
The thing I felt lacking from Harley Quinn's character in this one was the Valley Girl accent thing that we've known in most of the other series.
Mr. J.
What's up, Bats?
Yeah.
But you know what?
Missing.
You know what was cool though? She didn't talk much in the trailer.
Yeah, so we don't really
we don't know the direction
her dialogue is going to sound like.
And the other thing I was thinking too that's pretty interesting, it may seem like the Harley Quinn that we're going to get is not going to appear until halfway through the movie. Like, she's going to be this bad girl for the beginning of the movie. She's just bad girl number one.
And then
she meets the Joker, she falls in love with him because her psyche is that she's not fully developed yet. So she's gonna go through that teenage freaking heartbreak love session, and she's gonna fall in love with the Joker
as well.
She's gonna fall in love with the Joker, and then she's gonna become Harley Quinn that we recognize,
the Jester,
where she does everything to appeal to Mr. J, to her idol, you know. So she's gonna transform throughout the movie. We're gonna get a transformation out of her, while all the other characters are kind of already gonna exist.
I like it.
I think that'll be pretty dope.
And we might get Killer Croc becoming less and less human, as well.
Right, because in that
might change because he's still like a dude.
Yeah, and
he's just a reptilian.
But towards the middle of the trailer, you start seeing his jaw expanding.
Yeah,
more.
so maybe he won't be trying to pretend as much to be human.
Maybe I get a good CGI.
Might get a transformation.
All I know is that film looked like it was going to include some serious all-out chaos based on the way the empty streets and the fighting and everything else was going on. Yep. It looks to be quite a thrill.
It is.
So I'm the guy who's probably least familiar with Suicide Squad in the respect of them being the Suicide Squad. Like my knowledge of the Suicide Squad is more related to Green Arrow, the show. So,
I feel you on that.
So I don't know too much about them. So like, what does the Suicide Squad do? Like, is it just an overhyped?
They're a mercenary. It's a mercenary
like an overhyped SWAT
with
team?
bombs in their head. What is Amanda Waller's? What's the organization?
She works for.
Oh my God. Argos. Yeah, yes. Argus. Okay. Argus. She needed a team to under their control to fight these vigilantes and these supervillains that at the same time they can insulate themselves from, because that's what Argus does, secret clandestine organization, that they can insulate themselves from because they're evil guys, and if there's under threat of blowing your head off, they keep them in control like that.
It's essentially deniable ops too.
Exactly.
You can pull off a questionable mission, and if you get found out, it's like, oh no, they did it.
Yeah, exactly. Has nothing to do with us.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the Suicide Squad is.
With that said, any chance? I mean, I know it's heartbreaking that DC's not doing any crossovers, like TV to
film
movie crossovers.
Like we'll get it during the Justice League movie.
Will we get it? Maybe. Ezra Miller kind of teased about the Ezra Miller Grant Gustin existing in the same universe, because it's the Flash, so that anything is possible. With the
Arrow and the Flash show they've co-opted, and we got Katana too in that one.
Right. So will
Suicide Squad.
So will we ever see a nice crossover between the movies and the TV shows, like parallel universe stories, or maybe that'll be freaking amazing. I'd love to see John Diggle head up the Suicide Squad in a movie. Should be nuts. It'd be pretty nuts.
We might get him in this one. You never know.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
On the Suicide Squad, it got me thinking of, you said like Green Lantern, the Hulk, and Killer Croc as like who CGI to varying effects. It got me remembering the Fantastic Four and the Thing.
Yeah.
Different cinematic universe, but how CGI. In the original it's a suit.
Yep.
It's a physical suit. In this one, it's gonna be all CGI.
Yep.
Pretty much. So I'm like, that's another thing of like, I'm excited about the movie because I'm excited about all superhero movies. I'm that guy, right? I'll watch them all. I mean, I pay for them all, but I'll watch them all. I mean, but I'll watch them all.
You're saying that you'll have a friend rent the movie.
Exactly. Like a friend will buy the movie, then I'll go over his house and watch some popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you watch it together.
Exactly.
No legal download.
No, of course not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, come on. But no, I kind of want to watch it because it looks interesting. I don't like the casting, but I can put that aside if they do a good job.
I want to watch it in support of Michael B. Jordan.
Hey, remember? Oh, jeez. Remember when Chris Evans was Johnny Human Torch?
November.
Yes.
And now he's Captain America. And
can you imagine?
He is an amazing Captain America.
All right, that is how you get a promotion.
That's how you upgrade.
He is an amazing Captain America.
Somebody, they should make that a joke. They should make that a joke at some point. Like, hey, weren't you like on fire at one point?
It's kind of like the Deadpool trailer, which they don't have an official one out yet, but they had the leaked one.
Yep.
Where Ryan Reynolds goes, "Don't make my suit green or animated."
Yep.
Love that from the movie.
Breaking that fourth wall like Deadpool does. Like,
love it.
That's one of the very few perfect castings Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
I love it.
Right, like as Captain America, is so fucking perfect. For me, Thor guy. What's his fucking name?
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I love.
Yep.
Personally, I don't know if anyone else can play that.
I think it's amazing.
So
Jeremy
The
Renner
old guy
as Hawkeye.
as Odin's son. He's perfect too.
Jeremy
black
Renner as
dude,
Hawkeye.
What's the black dude's name? I always fucking fuck up his name. The black guy with the accent who plays the gatekeeper.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba, that's what it
yes,
is.
yes.
He's perfect as that. Like, there are very few castings where you get a perfect fit. Those are some of the few that are just beautiful. The guy who plays Barry Allen in The Flash, the guy who plays Stephen Amell in Arrow, like they are perfect.
Yeah, we're looking at good casting with these. I didn't want to steer away from the Fantastic Four too much. How do you feel about the cast this time?
And they're too young. They're too young for me. They're too young.
Well, that's how I felt too.
I can't do it. They're too young.
So all of the movies have been going that direction where the characters are a lot younger than we're used to them. Like Superman's young.
Really young.
Batman's
old. See, the thing is, though, but
Batman's
you
old.
can get
Go
away
figure.
with that in Superman to a degree because Superman doesn't really age like we do. Like Superman at 80 is us at 30.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what it is. So I think you can get away with the young Superman because we've seen young Superman.
Tom Holland.
He's
like
a
16.
college student. Wait, oh no, you're
Here's
right.
the thing, all the pictures they show of him, whenever they say, oh yeah, Tom Holland, he's the new Spider-Man, they show a picture of him when he was even younger. It's like, he doesn't look like that anymore.
Well, it depends, because Spider-Man...
Every picture is like, oh, here's
not the guy anymore.
Yeah, he's high school, he's fine.
They're casting him as high school.
Some Spider-Men have been in high school.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine.
Tobey Maguire was in high school.
Yeah, which didn't make any sense. I personally...
Tobey Maguire was my man. Yeah.
No, the same way you said that was college, wasn't it?
Tobey Maguire was high school going into college.
Oh, yeah, going into college, though.
He first movie we get, he's graduating high school, going to college.
Yep.
Andrew Garfield, on the other hand, he was in high school, not college.
He graduated high school though.
He was also graduating.
He also graduated. Right. I personally think he was a way better Spider-Man
than Tobey.
Like Spider-Man, like the sarcastic asshole joking, never take anything seriously Spider-Man. That Amazing Spider-Man, that should have been Spider-Man from the beginning. Peter Parker, on the other hand, I think he was lacking. I don't think Tobey Maguire did an amazing job, but he definitely did it better.
Yeah.
As the nerd.
Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man.
Yes, and Tobey Maguire was a better Peter Parker.
You know what? I will accept that. I was
because like his Spider-Man, like when the villain puts out, he goes like, yo, you ready for this? It's like, oh my god, a knife, my secret weakness. What am I to do? Like that sarcastic Spider-Man. You don't really get that in the first one. He's like a little too serious. He's like, oh, I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, like a cheery, like asshole.
It was too long ago for Hollywood to be comfortable enough with superhero films to do
being
that.
Superhero.
I guess, but I think
they had to make him either a comic action guy for the kids or a serious action guy for the adults. And of course they had to say, I'm going to do this for the kids because they're the ones that are going to get their parents to pay to watch
everyone can watch that and enjoy it.
But
I think Tobey Maguire could not have done what Andrew Garfield did.
I think he could have.
I don't think he has the chops.
Let's see how Tom Holland does.
We'll see.
I don't know Tom Holland from anything though. That's what really gets me.
Kick-Ass. That's the only thing.
Who was he in Kick-Ass?
He was the main guy with the light green, yellow
No,
suit.
he wasn't Kick-Ass.
Yeah, he was.
No, that was Aaron Taylor Johnson. He was Quicksilver in the Marvel
I need
Avengers.
to see pictures.
Yep, wrong thing.
Only the facts.
Only the facts.
I've seen so many pictures of actors.
So wait, Quicksilver was the same guy who was Kick-Ass.
The guy who played Quicksilver in
Age of Ultron.
Yes.
In Avengers.
Because there's also a Quicksilver in X-Men.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
You sure it's not the other way around?
My bad. No. The Kick-Ass was Quicksilver in Avengers.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we getting the Quicksilver in X-Men?
No, because that's Aaron Taylor Johnson. Tom Holland is stalling tactic. Going to
ladies and gentlemen, only the facts.
Speaking of Quicksilver, the two Quicksilvers and I that had to kill one was sad.
Yo, you know what? So,
spoiler alert!
If you haven't seen Age of Ultron yet, go watch it. No, actually, if you haven't seen Age of Ultron yet, wait for it to come on Blu-ray.
Nah.
Cop it on Blu-ray or watch it on Redbox. But it's a really long movie, okay? It's
I didn't think
extremely
it was that long.
Dude, it was almost 3 hours.
I don't think that. It didn't feel 3 hours.
It did to me.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I was just in an uncomfortable chair at the movie theater. Who knows?
That's it. But the movie theater chairs here suck.
Yeah, it's true. But so it's really long, and the way that I mean, I didn't see it coming. Like the whole movie, I'm sitting there thinking about all the different characters it could be, and I did not see that coming.
Ooh.
Like they just blew,
Quicksilver?
Yeah, they blew my mind when they hit me with that at the end. I was like, hey yo, I'm keeping it spoiler free.
We all thought it was no, fuck the spoiler free. Spoiler alert, we'll put that in the description. What the Hawkeye? They were pushing hard.
Hawkeye down my throat.
Like we were like, we got to meet the family, he's gonna die.
It got to a point where I was emotional. Like Hawkeye is one of my favorite characters. Like, I'm always a fan of archers. Anytime it's anything related to archery, I love it.
Green Arrow,
archery and sword fighting. I think that's freaking amazing. Like those are the two amazing things. Both the things that I can do, and like I have the utmost respect for them because of that. Because they're always grounded in reality. As fake as the sword fight or archery shots may be, they're at least grounded in reality enough where there is somebody on the planet who can probably do that.
Yeah, he's timing his shot. He's leading his shots. He's timing his shot. If you switch, if you design an arrow, you can aerodynamically shoot it to like it curves.
Exactly.
You can actually do it.
So there's stuff that's all realistic. So I always love archery. I always love sword fighting. And god damn it, I was upset when I felt like Hawkeye was gonna die.
Right?
Yo, I was ready. Like if it would have been Hawkeye that died, I would have flipped shit in the movie theater.
It would have been awesome.
People would have been upset at me in the movie theater.
Oh yeah,
I would
me
have
too.
thrown a fit.
Me too.
All right, but then when Quicksilver died, I was like, I was equally as hurt. Not equally. I wasn't flipping it.
You were hurt because it was like came out of nowhere. Almost.
Yeah, it was just like
nowhere.
Like I was getting ready to be like, yo, Quicksilver's gonna be dope when they put him in the Avengers. Like they're obviously gonna put him in the next movie. It's gonna be badass. And then he died. And I was like, whoa, damn. And then when Scarlet Witch felt it, she wasn't even nearby. Like he died, and she goes,
because they're twins. Yeah.
No,
and she just obliterates. She pulls a phoenix.
I don't think
she pulls a phoenix.
I don't
think she does.
I think the entire movie, Ultron was not more terrified than in that moment. In that moment, Ultron's eyes went.
Okay, can we speak about perfect CGI and mocap for a second?
We need to hold off 1 second.
Okay.
I have an update on Mr. Tom Holland, the movies he was in. I'm looking at it right now, and it's.
That's surprising. It looks a lot like my garbage.
See
can.
that? Oh, he was in fucking nothing. Okay.
Really? Well then.
We'll see how he is in Spider-Man.
Off of nothing. Can we talk about Ultron, please? The guy who played Ultron and the mocap they did in his face and the emotion and how he. Oh my God, that was a fucking you nasty ass bastard.
It was good. It was good.
It was amazing.
Wasn't Ultron also Vision? Am I right about that?
No. Two different people.
You sure?
Vision is Jarvis.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying like I think they had the same actor for Jarvis.
No.
Do Vision and Ultron.
No, not Ultron. Ultron is you seen the Blacklist.
James
Spader, yeah,
the Blacklist.
Yep.
Guy. He did an amazing job.
Real good stuff there.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Have we burned out on superheroes yet?
A last point on Fantastic Four. They're changing a lot as opposed to it being space travel. It's now space radiation. It's now like dimensional travel.
You know what? I don't care. They can
and
do
I can
whatever
do
they
that.
want.
Yeah, because they need to clean the slate.
My expectations are very low. Just do something.
My only real disappointing factor is that they're young. Really young.
I just want them to make a movie that tells me they didn't just make a movie to keep the rights. I want them to make a movie that shows me they cared.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be fine with whatever they make up.
Which, according to a lot of critics online and movie reviewers, this movie feels like that movie. And if it is, amazing. Then we actually get some good Fantastic Four. But I always forget these actors' names. The guy who played Mr. Fantastic in the other two movies, like, he was perfect. I don't think you could have picked a better casting. Better script, yeah. But he I don't know if you could have picked someone better to play that role. Because he was the older, like, Reed that we know of. So, and Jessica Alba was gorgeous.
Dude, there's nothing that Tom Holland was in.
I already told you.
Yep.
So, like, Backcountry, Pilgrimage, In the Heart of the Sea all came out this year. Oh, Locke is a movie I'm familiar with. Let's see.
Yeah, but still.
No, it's not even what I thought it was. It's something completely different.
Mhm.
This is incredible. Like, how did he get this role?
It must have, well, I guess they held auditions and he was good.
Wow. How good was he?
I'm saying.
You know, like, who auditioned for it? I remember they were going to
It
do
was,
Donald Glover, and I'm like, that doesn't work as Peter Parker. You need Miles Morales for that.
The person he beat over that Tom Holland beat out in the final, I know at least these two, was Asa Butterfield. And if I remember correctly, he is in something very, very recent that I know of, that I will tell you. Ender's Game. That's the one. He's in Ender's Game.
The main character, the kid?
The main character in Ender's Game.
Really? He looks way too young.
Was the person in contention to be the next Spider-Man.
I feel like that's way too young.
Here's the thing, we got Ant-Man coming up soon.
Oh my God, Ant-Man!
Fuck
I want Ant-Man. I'm actually excited. I'm gonna watch it.
I'll watch it. They still have my attention.
You know? The first Shrink trailer, though, when they actually show him shrinking in the bathtub, was amazing because you see he has two buttons on his hands. He presses the one on his left, and it's like, it's not doing anything. He's like, dee. What the fuck? It's just broken. And he presses the other one, and he shrinks, and he's like, oh, and falls in the bathtub and everything. And I'm like, that's the grow button. Like, that's the grow button when he goes giant. I love it. But no, like, it's awesome. This is second generation Ant-Man, which is why he didn't create Ultron in the Avengers movie. That's why they're doing this one.
I have no feels for Ant-Man.
I'm down for it, man.
Well.
Zero feels.
But following that, they're going to do Captain America Civil War. And
yeah,
that's going to be big because that's going to be where Tom Holland Spider-Man's going to be debuting.
Yep.
And it's going to be huge.
Not fuck up.
It's going to be huge because it's not just going to be a Captain America movie. It's going to have
an Avengers
everyone
movie.
From all the movies.
It's an Avengers movie without the Avengers name.
There's no Hulk and Thor, I think. There's no Hulk and Thor in Civil War because they made it so that the battles are more. It won't be Avengers scale. It'll be smaller.
Yeah.
So besides that, there's no Hulk and Thor.
I forgot where I read it. Because only the facts, but I'll just go ahead and say it. I think Daredevil's also supposed to be in it. Let's look it up.
Yes. So
which I'm down for.
Apparently,
the Netflix series.
So it's not that he's going to be in it, but there's discussion that there's a possibility Daredevil will be entering the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we might get some Matt Murdock.
Oh no! We knew this because they were gonna do the series with Iron Fist, and then the series with those guys, like the mini Avengers.
No, we still have a lot of shows coming up.
We still have a lot.
Daredevil's been renewed for season 2. We have a few other shows. Yep. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. should be coming back in September.
I need to finish it.
That is a show that really grew because it did not start.
I stopped
off
watching
good.
it because I was so bored.
It got better. It got so much better.
I literally stopped watching it. Like, I was a big fan. I was like, this show is starting to suck.
When did you stop?
Probably mid-season 1.
Skip the rest of it. Go to season 2.
Oh no! All I did was go and watch the part I needed to watch to get the filler for the next Captain America movie.
Yeah,
just go. Oh, I gotta watch this.
Just go straight to season 2. It got so much better.
Have you seen Agent Carter?
I saw Agent Carter.
I'd watch Agent Carter. It's amazing.
It was all right. I'm a little bored with the period piece stuff. That's just. Okay. It's like, oh, look at it. It's a different time. It's Mad Men, but Marvel edition. Okay, all right.
No,
all right.
There's a lot. There's a lot of it to do. It's a lot, man. A lot of superhero stuff's coming out.
I'm burnt out on superheroes.
So all things considered, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Sooper Friends Podcast, where we are going to talk video games.
Right? Welcome.
We do have one big bit of superhero.
Super Friends
Cut
news.
Cut
that.
We do have one bit of unfortunate news that I didn't want to bring us down, but most recently, Nintendo president Satoru Iwata passed away.
Yep.
It's been dealing with medical issues for some time now. That's why I wasn't at the past few E3s. Died at the age of 55. It's a real bummer.
Guy brought us a lot of the most lovable characters.
It's 55. It's too young for me. Like, my parents are that age.
My parents aren't even close to that age. My parents are still a long way to get to that age.
Oh, my parents are older than that age.
Yeah, I know. My girlfriend's parents are older than that, but he had so much left to give, and it's just, it really gets you down.
It's because you start thinking, what if you could have brought us the next Mario? Like that next iconic character that will lead the Nintendo back up from kind of the slump it's in.
In Nintendo's history, during their presence as a video game company, specifically as a video game company, because they were around before then, but there's only been 2 presidents. He was one of the 2. He was the last in
That's crazy.
that many years. It's
crazy.
Unbelievable. For him to bring so much, and, I didn't want to talk too much about, eulogizing and everything. I want to keep it positive. I wanted to discuss what our favorite, most influential, whatever you want to talk, your favorite Nintendo thing. So, I don't know if you want to think about it. If you need time to think about it, I can do mine first.
I'll let you go. I already know mine, but I figure
I got mine.
Let you go first.
Alright, well, mine's dumb. I really like Wario.
Wario.
Waluigi!
It's a dumb.
Waluigi! Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know what it was that spoke to me more than anything else, that here's a character whose sole motivation is really just getting rich.
Yeah.
He's not trying to rescue a princess who's in another castle. He's not trying to restore balance to the land.
I think for most of us, he was like our introduction to mercenaries. That's what Wario was. This, boys and girls, this is a mercenary.
Yeah.
Wario!
Or a treasure hunter, but yeah. He's it's so easy, it's almost lazy to have a story where you're either trying to rescue someone or save the world. And in the Wario games, it wasn't about that. And that was always interesting to me, that it wasn't lazy in that regard. It wasn't just rescue the world, save the princess, do this. It was get rich. Here's a temple. Go explore it.
Mm-hmm.
So he started off as a bad guy for one game, and then they were just like, you know what? Let's make him the star of a game instead.
And see where it goes.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then since then, he's been on absolutely some crazy adventures. There were some games where you actually couldn't kill him, and you had to purposely get him hurt in order to get certain superpowers.
Yeah.
It was outrageous, and that's why I loved it.
It was definitely.
And then he moved on to
the
the WarioWare series, and I like that too. I've never laughed out loud that often at games before, but that did it, because the game's just so random, so silly, and so lightning quick. And they're still going. I'm just waiting for whatever they're gonna do next with Wario. How about you?
I'm gonna let Al go next because mine is long.
Okay.
Oh, wow. All right.
So I'm gonna close the show out today.
So I don't have one. I can't pick one, but in a broad sense, it would be the Mario universe, the Mario games, and Pokemon for me. Specifically in the Mario universe, Bowser. I love Bowser. I love Bowser, I love Bowser Jr., I love the Koopas, I love the Goombas, I love all of it. I love how my favorite Bowser is probably Sunshine and Galaxy Bowsers. You know?
Sunshine was a good Bowser.
But like they were awesome to play, awesome to fight against, it was just hilarious. And I love how no matter what, no matter how many times Mario beat him, he would always come back with a different plan, and it's so close, and then fizzle out. And Pokemon for me was, I'm still playing Pokemon. I'm 23 years old. I've been playing Pokemon since the original versions on a brick gray Game Boy, and I love it because the series.
Did you have the light system? Because I had the light system.
I didn't have the light system; it was too broke.
Light system.
I had to use a light. Actual lamp. No, but
I remember the lamp.
For me, I mean, my old Game Boy caught on fire.
My boy got the sound system for the Game Boy.
What? Yeah. I'm jealous. But for me, it's the joy it brought me as a kid, right? The exploration, the different varieties, the leveling, and like the rewarding system of that. And then as I grew up and I discovered how crazy deep Pokemon games actually are, and strategic and competing and the the one-on-ones and trainer battles and training with EVs and IVs. For those who don't know, don't worry, it's a lot of math. You can Google it.
I can do maths.
I not have enough time.
I can do maths.
Yeah, but like and the fact that I have been able to grow with the series because I'm discovering more and more, and I'm getting more depth, and then they add more pieces. They add more Pokemon. Some of them are a little ridiculous, they're a little. That's not even ridiculous. They're a little ridiculous. Right? You got an ice cream cone, but the original weren't that creative. The originals weren't that creative. That it was a pile of slime and magnets. Yeah. But and just 3 heads. But the fact that it's been able to stay with me and grow with me throughout all these years is it's definitely something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Yep. So
and now.
So for me,
the legendary story from Mr. Vega.
It's crazy to think this, right? But consoles, like for me, Nintendo represents being able to play your games at home or on the go. Like they are the pioneers for that concept, in my opinion. Like the Nintendo Entertainment System. Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, and then on the portable side, like no kid, not a single child, all right, that is anywhere near 10 years younger than me. I'm 23, and there's not a single kid on this planet maybe there is somewhere on this planet who'll understand, but it's hard for me to believe. Like kids will never know the struggle of finding AA batteries.
Oh man! All right, or sticking them in the freezer.
At least when I grew up. My childhood was not poor, but it wasn't rich. Like I wasn't on the bottom of the spectrum, but I damn sure wasn't anywhere near the top. So like, asking my parents to buy batteries was not an option. All right, like you had to make them shits last. Kids will never understand that. Game Boy Advance, they will never understand
not having a backlight.
And for me, like that is the biggest thing that Nintendo has given us. I mean, as the biggest PlayStation fanboy that we probably know, like that is because of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo told Sony, "Go fuck yourself." Sony said, "No, we're gonna make a console anyway," and now I have a PlayStation. Like I've had PlayStations consecutively because of Nintendo. Like it is amazing. It's amazing the legacy that they've built. And I mean, I'll have to look it up, but I am almost 100% sure that our entire experience with Nintendo has been under the direction of Satoru Iwata
for the last 20, 30 years, probably. Yeah. And I mean, also, like, think about
I was born in '92. I got my first Super Nintendo when I was, my family had a Super Nintendo that I can remember playing as young as like 5. I was playing Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and Super Mario World.
Nintendo
oh my god.
Rescued
the gaming industry
from a first ever crash.
Think how far back we would be if Nintendo hadn't rescued it. We would be a decade behind where we are now. Like, wow.
And then think about everything that the video games industry has done for the world. Like we never sit down and just think, like, you can go in, and I know this because my parents are in the medical field, you can go in and ask for a non-invasive surgery, okay? And a non-invasive surgery consists of a surgeon standing behind a screen with joysticks playing inside your guts. That's all it is. Like, that is contributed to the technology of video games. I mean, holodeck, or HoloLens rather, is probably never going to be used for video games. But the amount of things that it can be used for outside of gaming is incredible.
Therapy.
Like, there's just so much.
Therapy. Therapy's a big thing.
Only the facts. I have verified that Iwata was not in charge during the NES era. That was Hiroshi Yamauchi.
What about Super Nintendo?
Nope. Iwata was about 2000. 2002 was when Yamauchi retired.
Oh, okay.
So it was the second half of the
he wasn't president.
era.
He wasn't president, but he's been on board. But nonetheless, it's just like it's just a legacy. Like, you know, that's that.
We celebrate the life. That's how you honor those who are no longer here physically in front of us. You celebrate their life and you keep them alive in your heart. You know.
Yep. I think that's gonna do it for us.
That's all you get for video game news today, guys.
And anything really. Well,
Wait. There was one more.
Oh, we have another.
This goes back to the movies though.
Oh no.
It's not about movies though.
No.
Marvel has openly stated that they are currently pursuing projects within the console market for Marvel-based video games, Marvel superhero-based video games.
Like as opposed to what?
The mobile industry where they've been. There's no Marvel-based console game you can play right now.
Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yeah, but that released like 3 or 4 years ago. Like there hasn't been a major
Lego Marvel
console. There hasn't been a major console Marvel game.
Lego Marvel.
It's not real. It's a Lego game.
It's like
Lego,
Marvel
it was
Light.
Great and Lego.
Fact.
And then there's Lego Universe, not Lego Universe. Sorry, Marvel Universe, the MMO. There's still
no Marvel Universe is on PC and mobile, not on console.
Oh, so specifically console. They're putting a focus
right,
there.
They're putting a focus back on console projects. So we may get another.
Oh no, there was a crappy Iron Man 2 game out a while ago.
Oh god.
Yeah, but that was like 08.
Still.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like
the last Marvel console game, the last major Marvel console game, would be if we count Marvel versus Capcom, then maybe. But the last actual Marvel game, like Marvel produced and everything, was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, and that was 06.
Jeez.
All right then. I look forward to seeing.
God damn it! Enjoy the fact that we're getting Marvel back. Who has not wanted to play a true Avengers game, or a true game based on like any Marvel characters, or joining into the Marvel universe?
Well, I played
even X-Men, even the recent X-Men game was a Fox collaborative. It wasn't a Marvel collaborative.
And it wasn't that good.
Well, there goes that.
Because it was Fox.
The Deadpool game was good though. I mean, it was pretty basic, but
that was also a Fox collaborative. It wasn't a Marvel.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the most recent one we got with a Marvel property,
Deadpool,
which was 2012. So, but that's it for that.
So, if we want to find out more about Super VEGA, where can we find out stuff about him?
You will head to supervega.com. And the reason I say that specifically is I'm doing a crazy amount of updates on supervega.com right now. I'm working with a third-party team that's helping me out, making sure everything is running smoothly. So there's going to be a major transition for website design and cool stuff you will find on the site going forward. Yeah. It's like having another mom working with a third-party team when you're doing stuff. Just so you guys know. If you ever consider a third-party team, keep that in mind. It will be on your ass. It'll be like anytime you forgot to take out the trash. That's what it feels like.
Oh, God.
That's what it feels like.
Oh,
Hell, where can we hear more about you?
I still don't know how to use Twitter.
Have you figured
I
out
haven't
the
really
button?
been posting much. But,
The buttons!
The buttons!
There's so many buttons!
I don't know how to properly hashtag everything, but...
You may not believe this, but L's actually a pretty bit of...
God.
L is actually a pretty guy. Pretty guy. And a pretty busy guy.
Oh, God, yes.
He's a pretty guy.
I'm a pretty guy. I am pretty. Oh, guys.
What if we do want to follow you on the Twitter? Where can we find you?
L_sumo with a 0 as opposed to an O. I will try to post more, and I will start posting about powerlifting again. I'm doing a lot of body prep. My body's a little sore. Stretching, prepping the joints, so I don't hurt myself.
Swole.
Nah.
You can find more Hey It's Chet stuff, like me, Chet, on Hey_It's_Chet on Twitter. Also, you can look for Hey It's Chet stuff on WordPress. I'm still working on the article I mentioned last week, but I will have more in store for that following. So you have that to look forward to. Other than that, not a lot.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Super Friends. Away!
Later.